There's just one more thing to do today, Pickle, on our Mega Monday show, and that is to unveil the Week 2, it's technically Week 2 awards.
Yeah, ranking season.
The official Dave Campbell's Texas Football Associated Press, Texas High School Football Rankings. Of course, Dave Campbell's Texas Football has been the official rankings provider of the Associated Press since 2019. We're very proud of that. So these are the official Texas High School Football Rankings of record. And guess what? This year, I'm making fancy graphics.
Yeah.
That's right. So these are the Week 2 Texas High School Football Rankings. We will start with 6A. We have the top 25 in 6A. The top 10 is almost entirely unchanged. Westlake and North Shore and South Lake Carroll round out the top 3. Duncanville hangs on to that 4th spot. We did lose a number 7 team in Lake Travis who lost to Arlington Martin, but numbered up new into the top 10 is Humble Atascocita. Let's matriculate over to the to 11 through 25, where there's a lot of change here. Highland Park makes a big leap from 20 to 14 there with their win over Flower Mound Marcus. Lake Travis drops from number 7 to number 13. A bit of a shuffle here. Brennan, with their loss to Cibolo Steel, drops to number 16. Alvin Shadow Creek makes a nice leap. We lose 5, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 different state-ranked teams, including unranked for the first time in a long time, the Allen Eagles drop out of the top 25 with their loss to St. John Bosco. Fort Bend, Rich Point, the Woodlands, Dickinson, Yules Trinity, and Rockwall Heath all out, but new to the rankings. Number 18, Prosper with their win over Trinity. Number 19, Dripping Springs with their thrilling win over Austin Vandergrift. Also new to the rankings, number 22, Bridgeland into the rankings at number 22 with their win over Cy-Fair. Round Rock into the rankings at number 23 with their win over Pflugerville Weiss. And the Temple Wildcats into the top 25 with their win over McKinney. Let's move on to 5A. 5A Division 1. Chaos. Absolute chaos here. Longview hangs on to the number 1 spot, but then there's huge movement in the top 5. Frisco Lone Star up to number 2 from number 5. A&M Consolidated up to number 3 from number 7. Mansfield Timberview with a thrilling win over South Grand Prairie up to number 4 from number 9. Amarillo Tascosa simply by just winning. Like, that's the thing. Just win. They might move up to number 5. Port Arthur Memorial new to the rankings at number 6. Smithson Valley new to the rankings at number 7. And then you have teams that were in the top 5 that we decided to give an opportunity to stay in the top 10. Denton Ryan drops from number 2 to number 8 with their loss to New Braunfels. Aledo drops from number 3 to number 9 with their loss to Parish Episcopal. And College Station drops from number 4 to number 10 with their loss to Lucas Lovejoy. But we did lose 2 teams out of the rankings. Number 6, Crosby has dropped out, and number 8, Manville has dropped out as well. To 5A Division 2 we go. A little bit more calm. Top 4 remain unchanged. We keep South Oak Cliff despite the loss of Duncanville at number 1. We maintain we had a lengthy debate about this, but we think that by punching up and playing that close game, they stay number 1. Lucas Lovejoy's hot on their heels, though, with their win over College Station. Liberty Hill at Fort Bend Marshall, they're at number 4. Argyle up a spot to number 5. Wichita Falls Ryder up a spot to number 6. Colleyville Heritage up 2 spots to number 7 by thumping Irving Nimitz. 2 new teams into the rankings. Grapevine makes their debut at number 8 with a win over Frisco Wakeland. San Antonio Veterans Memorial makes their debut in the rankings at number 9 with their win over San Antonio Harlandale. Texas High hangs on to their number 10 spot with a one-score loss to now number 2 in 5A Division 1, Frisco Lone Star. Dropping out of the rankings, number 5 Mansfield Summit and number 8 Leander Rouse. To 4A we go. 4A Division 1. A little bit of movement here. 3 new teams into the rankings. Stephenville and China Spring remained there at number 1 and number 2, respectively. Salina up from number 5 to number 3. La Vega moves up 3 spots to number 4. And Cal Allen moves up a spot with their win over Gregory Portland. Chapel Hill, their loss to Gilmer drops them from number 3 to number 8, but they do hang on to the rankings. Kilgore also drops from number 8 to number 10. 3 new teams into the rankings, as I mentioned. Bernie, number 6, there with their win over Corpus Christi Flower Bluff. Very impressive from the Greyhounds. Little Cypress Mauriceville into the rankings with a win over Hardin Jefferson. They're at number 7. And Anna makes their rankings debut at number 9 with a win over Decatur. Out of the rankings, number 4 El Campo, number 9 Dumas, and number 10 Kennedale drop out of the top 10. To 4A Division 2 we go, where this was a lot. Everyone behaved here. Yes. Everyone behaved. 1 through 9 unchanged. Carthage, Gilmer, Wichita Falls, Hershey round out the top 3. New to the ranking, number 10 Geronimo Navarro does drop out with their loss last week, but into the rankings at number 10 Belleville. Their win over LaGrange, 24-14, gets to the number 10 spot in 4A Division 2.
That's a good LaGrange team too.
3A Division 1, we have a new number 1. The Franklin Lions are the new number 1 team in 3A Division 1 with their narrow win over Woodville. I've got my eye on that one, But for now, they get the nod at number 1. Brock, with their loss to Pleasant Grove, drops to number 2, but we keep them in the top 2. Mount Vernon moves up a spot with their win over Quinlan Ford. Malakoff's a big mover. They jump up 3 spots from number 7 to number 4 with their win over West Rusk. Very impressive. Lorena, we punished them by dropping them from number 3 to number 5 by losing to China Spring like that. Columbus up 2 spots to number 6. Grandview down a spot with their loss to Glenrose. That's a 4A Glenrose team. Edna up a spot with their win over East Bernard. West up a spot to number 9 with their win over Godley. Out of the rankings is number 5 Jim Ned with their big loss to Hawley, but new to the rankings, number 10 Shallowater. They beat Monahans.
Grandview and Malakoff this week. That one's tasty, as always. But
3A Division 2. The number 1 team in the state remains unchanged because Gunner didn't play. They remain number 1. In fact, the top 4 are unchanged. Gunner, Canadian Newton, and Dangerfield is all unchanged. It's not until you get to number 5 that you have some changes. Holiday up a spot to number 5. Poth up a spot to number 6. Childress up a spot to number 7. West Rusk drops from number 5 to number 8 with their loss to Malakoff. DeKalb moves up a spot despite not playing. East Bernard, number 9, drops out of the ranking. New to the rankings at number 10, the Idalou Wildcats. They beat Sweetwater 38-20. To 2A. The 2A Division 1 was just crazy town banana pants.
Sitting by Ish when he was helping put together these rankings was
It's just impossible. It's impossible here. We have a new number 1 team. It's the Timpson Bears. They did enough, certainly beating Beckville, who drops out of the rankings at number 8. Stomping Beckville. They do enough to grab the number 1 spot, especially with the loss to Shiner. Shiner drops to number 3 with their loss. Still a believer, but because they were punching up, but still. Hawley, with their very impressive win over Jim Ned, they jump up to number 2. Awfully impressive there. Centerville moves up 2 spots from number 4, from number 6. Crawford up 2 spots from number 7 to number 5. Coleman up 3 spots with a 7-6 win over Mason. Real hard-nosed stuff there. Cisco up 3 spots. We keep Refugio ranked. Refugio's the number 8 team. They drop from number 3 to number 8. Also losing in week 1, I believe, was Marlin. They lose to Crockett. 48-31. They drop from number 4 to number 10. New to the rankings, the Stratford Elks, the defending 2A Division 2 state champs, they're a winner in their 2A Division 1 debut with a win over Spearman. They grabbed the number 9 spot. 2A Division 2, a little bit of change here. So Munster loses to Bells. Bells is a larger team. We dropped them from number 2 to number 3. We move Mart up to number 2 in their stead. A lot of the rest is a lot of chalky.
And Mart really had to squeeze by.
Yeah, they did. They beat them 54-0.
Oh, what was I thinking? Maybe it was. I don't know. I was thinking
somebody squeaked by. I promise you.
I thought it was Mart.
Burton, Wink, Windthorst, all the same at 5, 6, 7 respectively. Chilton up a spot to number 8. Tenaha up a spot to number 9. Falls City was number 8. They drop out of the rankings with their loss, but new to the rankings, number 10. Price Carlisle, the Indians, into the number 10 spot at 2A Division 2. To the 6-man ranks we go, 1A Division 1, where we didn't want to go crazy. As we kind of mentioned in Monday Morning Fallout, we didn't want to go crazy about shaking things up, even though there were some teams that lost here. So, for example, 1 through 6 entirely unchanged. All winners, all looked very, very good. Borden County moves up a spot. They swap spots with Happy. Happy lost to Westbrook, 62-16, but Westbrook's also the number 1 team in the state. So I think that's fair. We dropped them 1 spot. We also flip Erie County and Turkey Valley. Turkey Valley lost to Garden City. That's the number 5 team in the state, and they lost by 4 points. That's about what you'd expect. We punished them by dropping them a spot, but Erie County nudges ahead of them to number 9. That's how we keep it. But the 10 teams are the same, just jumbled a little bit between 7 and 10. To 1A Division 2, where there's a lot more movement. Benjamin and Balmorhea maintain their spots at number 1 and number 2. Balmorhea did lose to Rankin there, but they were a team that's a top 6 1A Division 1 team, so we're not going to punish them too hard. Richland Springs, we vault them ahead of Jayton, who got beat by May. That is a top 3 May team, but Richland Springs was also impressive, and May was, Jayton was not super competitive in that game. May really dominated them, so we dropped them 1 spot, but wanted to give them the respect of punching up a classification by not dropping them too far. Whit Harrell up 2 spots with a win over Spring Lake Earth. Lamesa Klondike up 2 spots, or up 3 spots with a win over Kroll. Cherokee up 3 spots with a win over Smoking for Jesus. There are 3 new teams into the rankings. We lost 3. Number 5, Strawn lost to Knox City in a bit of a stunner. Motley County lost to Ira. That was a bit of a stunner. And Throckmorton lost as well. We dropped them out of the top 10 for now. In their stead, number 8, Oakwood jumps in. Number 9, Lorraine. And number 10, Oglesby take their spots in the 1A Division 2 rankings. To the private school ranks we go. You got the private school ranks?
No.
I didn't send that to you?
No.
I'm almost certain I did. But anyway, private school ranks. Top 5 are unchanged in private school ranks. Parish Episcopal, Midland Christian, Fort Bend Christian, Dallas Christian, and Houston Second Baptist were all winners, so they remain in the top 5. One change in the 6-man classification. For Fort Worth Covenant Classical, Conroe, or rather, there are a couple of changes, I should say. Fort Worth Covenant Classical was a winner. They maintained the number 1 spot. There it is.
Got it.
Fort Worth Covenant Classical maintains their number 1 spot. Waco Live Oak, or rather, Conroe Covenant beats Waco Live Oak 60-42, so we just flipped the spots. Number 2, Conroe Covenant takes number 2. Waco Live Oak takes number 3. Houston Emery Weiner up a spot with their win over Dallas Lake Hill. San Marcos Baptist, number 4, lost. They drop out of the rankings. In their place, number 5, Austin Veritas. They beat Williamson County Homeschool to crack the top 5 in the private school ranks in 6-man. So there you have it. The Dave Campbell's Texas Football Associated Press rankings for week number 2. A little bit of chaos in a few different places. A lot of recalibrating there with our
5A
rankings.
Division 1 and 2A Division 1 were the chaos ensued.
Those are 5A D1 and 2A Division 1 were the real tough ones. And yeah, there were other places.
But it made it fun.
And again, a lot of that just comes down to who you played and how you played them. Is basically kind of what we're judging. We want to give some grace, but for example, if you get your clock cleaned, it's kind of hard to give you a lot of grace. So there you go. There is your Dave Campbell's Texas Football Associated Press rankings for week 2.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.